Well, good morning. Welcome to day 2 on the Root River. It was a unexpectedly cool night. I got a little chilled. Just the bottom of the hammock, I don't have an underquilt and didn't think I'd need anything warm, but boy, throughout the night it just got colder and colder and cooled me off, so gonna have to come up with a solution for tonight because I gotta be able to sleep better than that. So, leaving the power plant campsites. I can hear we got some kind of rapids downriver. I don't know what they really are. It was nice to fall asleep to. Since we had to go so far yesterday to get to here, because of the other campsites all being full, it's only 11 miles to the second campsite that I was going to go to. So I might go past that one and actually go like 30 miles today to the Houston campsites. And that would put me a day ahead of schedule, basically. So we'll see how it goes. I mean, everything's a plan until the first few minutes. So, but let's see what these rapids are here. It looks shallow. Hopefully it's not too much. I don't want to do much. I'm tired. There you go, there's the south branch of the Root River coming in. Right after some rapids to deal with. After the confluence of the south branch of the Root River with the north, there seemed to be a noticeable shift in the banks of the river. The towering rock walls were replaced by steep sandy banks. The sets of small rapids remained, but they seemed to be further apart. One of the most noticeable changes in the river was the increasing amount of trees in the water. Now the right side here looks better for flow, but there's trees blocking it. Well, we'll have to see what this side has to offer, I guess. At times, the trees in the water actually posed a real risk. One example is this island, which split the river in two. The right side of the island had the best flow, which I would have normally gone for. I was able to catch just a glimpse of a tree in the channel, so I decided to go left. Upon reaching the other end of the island, I could see the tree was blocking almost the entire channel on the right. This could put you in a situation of getting caught up in a tree with moving current under you. Not a good place to be. If I would have went right around that island, would have been having to deal with that tree blocking it. No good. And that's some pretty swift current right there. One really nice feature of the Root River is the endless bluffs that tower above the river. Paddling through the driftless zone in southeast Minnesota offers an excellent view of these bluffs as you paddle along. One thing that was a bit of a mystery for me on this trip was a small dam just before Rushford. It was hard to find any good pictures of the structure on the internet. Not knowing exactly what was in store, I intended to portage the structure. Seeing steep banks on river left where my map calls out the portage, I put on my rain skirt in anticipation of having to run the dam. Alright, pretty sure this is that Rushford Dam. It's not very high. And I'm not really seeing a portage here. So I guess we're just gonna go over it. I know that the chute is on this side. Yeah, I don't know how you'd portage this. Nonetheless, here we go. Nothing to it. Alright, well, just came off the Rushford Dam there, the little overhead dam. It's got a little section missing there where the current flows freely through. And yeah, it's pretty quick after you come around the corner. It's pretty much right there. I did look to see if there was a easy out portage. Maybe I missed it, but yeah, I mean, it pretty much just looks like you're you're on a bank there, so I don't really know what the portage would be. I'm actually sitting here on a little access, and there's a little parking lot just up there. But yeah, here's a good shot of it. You can see the dam there. There's the cut through where there's more of the waves, a little less obstructed. It's barely a drop right now, so that probably speaks to how high the water is. Might mean something to somebody. And then the corner is actually right back there, so yeah, you come around that corner and I mean you're pretty much making your decision. I put on my rain skirt, went over it, no problem. Went over the section that's missing, and I made it through without any issue. Got a little wet, but that's why I put the skirt on. But yeah, you can see how fast the water's actually moving here. It's going pretty good. Good current. I think I've been moving about almost 6 miles an hour, which is just flying. So obviously the water's up a bit. So I think I gotta go another 10 or 11 miles and I will be at the Houston campsites. So pretty cool. But I'm just gonna sit here, have a bite to eat, kind of rest my legs a little bit because they get a little sleepy in the boat when I don't use them, and continue on after. I won't say that running the dam is the right call. I have been told there is much variability in its height and personality, obviously all dependent on the current water levels. I feel the right thing to say is that you should portage this structure. Either way, make sure you make a good decision when dealing with this obstacle. This corner in particular was littered with many trees in the channel. I decided the best decision was to land on the sandbar to have a moment to best decide on how to proceed. This is one of those situations where having your head up and paying attention to the river really pays off. Having to navigate this many trees in the water with the current moving as fast as it was could be challenging. Not that it wouldn't have been possible, just a bit more risky. Just trees all the way across the river here. Like if I would have went with the current on this one, I guess I could have played through there, but just kind of sketchy. Well, trying to find these Houston campsites here, but I'm not seeing them, and We're coming up on the bridge that signals that I've gone too far, but I don't see them. I mean, I don't even see anywhere on the bank I could get out. Well, these DNR maps aren't always the best about exactly putting the campsite where it says it is, but I don't even see where it would possibly be, which is too bad. After a few more minutes of searching for the campsites, I decided I would just land on the next sandy point and call it a day. Well, I gave up on those Houston campsites because I could not find them. And so I basically went down around the next corner and found a sandbar. So that's where I will be staying tonight. Hopefully these clouds stick around because it is very hot on this sandy point. The good thing about that, it'll probably keep me warm a good chunk of the night. The bad thing is, it'll keep me really warm the rest of the day. So, but the next campsite ain't for quite a while, and I didn't want to paddle into the end of the evening here trying to find something. So, I'll just take this because it's here and deal with the heat and everything. I set up my little one-person tent. And yeah, I think it'll work just fine for the night. There's a lot of logs in the river down here. I mean, just tons of trees and a couple areas that you really have to pay close attention as to what's coming up because they almost completely block the river, and that's a little nerve-wracking because I don't want to be in that situation. But a little view of my area here. You can kind of see it's just a kind of a plant-filled sandy point. This stick is where I get cell phone service, and only there. So we'll have to hang the phone off that stick so I can talk to my wife. But yeah, aside from that, I'm pretty much just gonna sit here, eat, hopefully enjoy the clouds without the sun, because if the sun comes out, I'm gonna be hot. But yeah. I set up a makeshift shelter to protect from the hot sun, which finally broke through the clouds and really warmed up the area. Yeah, this is the sandbar I'm on. Sandbar full of plants and bugs. Great view of the bluffs. Haven't seen anybody. Can hear the highway. There's a little walking bridge just up from here. But yeah, that's pretty much been my afternoon. After the sun finally sets behind the trees, I enjoy an evening by the fire, taking in the scenery. Just before crawling into my tent, I noticed some dark clouds moving in. Yeah, I don't know how well y'all can see me here, but getting some storms coming through. This was the 15% chance today or whatever it was, so go figure. Not really exactly where I would normally set up for storms either, which kind of stinks. And probably the worst thing is I don't have barely any cell phone service, so I can't even really check the weather. I got text message through my GPS, so I got my wife giving me updates that way. But yeah, just gonna kind of wait it out. I'm in the little ionosphere tent, so I'm about as low to the ground as you can be. That's good for the most part, but just doesn't offer much comfort, so we'll see how it goes. My biggest concern was the amount of rain that was coming in. Being on a sandbar that wasn't very high above the water, on a river down in a valley, thoughts of the river rising into camp were very prevalent on my mind. That's going to do it for episode 2. In the next one, we make our way to the end of the journey. Take care, and we will see you on the next one.